What on earth is that? Is that... It's attached to the gutter, but I don't... We'll just chuck it over there. That'll be fine. One more day left to work. Goodness me, has it been a long week? I don't even know why it's been such a long week. It's just been one of those weeks. I am ready for the Easter holidays. We've still got 2 weeks left after this. Let me know what you think of the new camera position, by the way. I like it. It's on top of the shed. I am a little bit worried that that weird foam thing is going to come flying back over and knock the camera flying. It's also very windy out here. So this might be the last video I ever make, because the camera might be about to fly off and smash. It is still held together by gaffer tape as well, remember, although I did get an email from the people who are sending me the new screw and the new screwdriver. It is coming out by courier tomorrow. This is ridiculous service. If this actually works, then First Aid Repairs are the best camera repair people in the history of the world. I've paid them £12, just £12, and they're sending me a screw with a screwdriver that works with it by courier, and all I did was send them a link to the video to tell them, so that they could see which screw it was. They went through the catalogue themselves, they've ordered it from Canon themselves, they're providing the screwdriver that goes with it and couriering it. They're not making much of a margin on that, and for that I respect you. First Aid Repairs. I'll find the actual URL if it arrives tomorrow and it works, because that's just awesome and crazy cheap. In other news, I need your advice about GoPros. I did ask this on Twitter earlier on today. I am in the market for a GoPro. I've kind of resigned myself to the fact that Anna's not going to let me have a drone. I've been doing lots more research on drones, and I kind of am moving over to the whole it's not worth getting a drone camp. I still really want one. It still looks like it'll be loads of fun. It will add a new type of shot that we can include in the vlog. But not only, as Anna quite rightly points out every time I bring it up and every time you lot tweet her, which is brilliant by the way, I will break it. Yeah, it will be. I had this camera 3 months before I broke it. My laptop I'd had 6 months by the time I broke it. A drone is a thing that flies through the air controlled by me. It will be broken within a week of it arriving, so I do get that point. But also, I've been doing a lot of research, and I don't know if there's actually anywhere where I'll legally be allowed to fly the thing. I certainly won't be allowed to fly it in my own garden, because looking at the legislation around flying them in the UK, you're not allowed to fly them within 50 metres of property owned by someone else. Well, that's everywhere, isn't it? I don't own 50 metres of property. I don't own any property. So, where can I fly it? If you've got a drone and you don't have any problems flying it out and about in places, I guess public parks you can fly them maybe, but that gets old fast, and I just don't picture myself taking a drone out with me when I go to the park or when we go to the woods. I think it will be an expensive purchase that doesn't really get massively used. A GoPro, on the other hand, the reason I'm looking at a GoPro, it's not to replace this camera, because I like this camera. It's good picture, as you can see, nice and clear on my face. It's got the good autofocus, and also the microphone on it is a lot better than I was expecting when I first bought it. But what I want the GoPro for is I want to be able to mount it in the car. So I need you lot to help me out and let me know, firstly, is that legal? And secondly, if it is legal, how do I do it? I'm thinking of 2 different types of shot, and I don't want to buy 2 GoPros, so I want some kind of mount that will allow me to do, the foam's coming back. I want some kind of mount, and I guess it's going to be the one that sucks, the suction one, to go onto the window. But I want it to be able to point at me so that I can be driving along, talk to camera, tell you where I'm going, just do a little bit of that. I think that would be quite a cool shot to be able to throw in every now and again. But then, probably more often, I want to be able to just swivel it around and be able to film where I'm going, film the road, so that when we have those shots where it's me driving somewhere, to show that we're driving somewhere, it doesn't have to be Anna sit there holding the camera out on a tripod in front of there. I could just twizzle the GoPro around. With the fancy new ones, I can just say GoPro record, and it will record for me, I think. But I don't want to have to keep disconnecting the mount and moving it around when I want it to film my face. Ideally, I want to be able to just stick it on, twist it one way to film me, twist it the other way to film the road. I could go and buy one and buy the mount and experiment myself to see if this will work, but ultimately, if it's not possible to do that, for it to be that simple, I'm probably not going to use it, and I don't really want to waste 450 quid if I'm never going to use the thing. So if you've got a GoPro and you use it for that kind of thing, or you know someone who does, or you've seen someone do it, or even if you can point me towards some articles or videos of people doing that, I'm all for it. I do want one, and I think it would be a pretty cool thing to have. We've got a lot of road trips coming up over the coming months. I know I'm going on the train when we go down to Rest next weekend, and I won't have a GoPro in time for Lincoln this weekend, but on the horizon we've got a trip to Blackpool, a trip to Manchester, another trip to Birmingham, plus whatever we decide to do with the kiddies over the summer. There'll be lots of trips to the seaside and things like that, and just I think it would be quite cool and add another dimension to the vlog if I'm able to just talk into it on the way to work sometimes, or the way home from work. I'm very conscious of the fact that while I'm still at work, and I have only got, I think it's less than 60 days left now at work, but while I am still at work, the vlog can get a little bit samey, and I am conscious of that, and I am trying to do something about it, and it might add another little dimension to it to be able to do a little bit in the morning when I'm driving in, or when I'm driving on the way home. I can't really do it at home in the morning because everyone's rushing around, everyone's getting ready. If they're not getting ready, they're still asleep. It wouldn't be nice for me to be messing around vlogging first thing in the morning. I can't come out here in the garden because it's freezing in the mornings at the moment, and I can't do it when I get to work, because once I get to work I'm in the school car park, there's students around, there's other staff around. I don't really mind doing it in front of the staff, but the students, it's just going to invite even more of them than already watch the channel to turn up and watch the channel. And as much as in my final week there, I'll be telling everybody that is there that the channels exist so that they can watch and have the subscribers jump up. Until then, it probably is for the best that I don't actively advertise it, you know, professionalism and all that. And it's the same on the way home. I can't really do anything as I'm walking out of school in the evenings because there's kids around. When I get home, I mean, that's where we are now. It's 5:30, I've been home 45 minutes. So I'm out here in the garden, and this is the first opportunity I've had all day to talk to you. Like, whereas if I had a camera in the car, we could have had a chat this morning or this afternoon, and I don't know, it's just a thought. It might be illegal, it might be impossible, it might not be able to happen, but I think it would be pretty cool if it could happen. So that's now my new thing that I want. Forget a drone, I want a GoPro, I think. I'm giving you a little Sprogler update as well before we go into the weekend, and it just becomes a road trip vlog for the next 3 days, which I am really looking forward to. If you are in and around the Lincoln area and you can suggest things for us to go and do, places to see, places to eat, we've got Bibs and Ribs, I think, a barbecue place booked for the Saturday night. We're probably just going to go to Nando's on the Friday night, but if it's another place we definitely have to check out, let us know. If you're going to be around in Lincoln on a Saturday at some point, pop us a tweet and come and say hello to old Kev. You know the way this works. So that's going to be the next 3 days, so you're not going to get any Sproglet news then, but we have had a few developments this week. We've had his CAMS, the child mental health people there, the nurse who works for them has been round to see us yesterday. We had quite a productive meeting with her, talking about possible ways to try and get him back to school, which is all positive stuff. His head teacher, who I've had a bit of a row with by email, I think I tried to avoid talking to you about it earlier in the week. I did at one point threaten to take it to the media, and it hasn't rushed him. It's still taken him 3 days to get back to me, but he's finally suggesting the thing I've been suggesting for a year, which is the same thing we talked about with CAMS yesterday. So for the first time in a long time, we haven't spoken to the social worker about it yet, but us, the school and CAMS are all on the same page. We still can't get any joy out of the NHS in general. His doctor, his paediatrician, they're all very absent from the process, and everyone involved is currently putting in official complaints against them to try and get them to wake up and do something. I haven't made any progress with contacting the MP. It's a job for the Easter holidays, I'm too busy at the moment. But it is reassuring to see that so many of us are in agreement with how we can get him back to school, and the process is a very simple one. We find somebody, whether they currently work for the school or they need hiring in, we find somebody who can come out first thing in the morning, 5 days a week, and just come and get to know him initially. Come and sit in the house, get to know him, build up a relationship with him, build up some trust with him. Eventually get to the point where they take him out in the taxi, the official school transport he has, the little taxi. They could perhaps go and visit the church, visit other places that he likes to visit, and gradually over time get closer and closer to his school until it gets to the point where he trusts them enough to know that nothing bad's going to happen, and he'll agree to go to the school with them. And we know this will work because this time last year they did exactly that, and he started going to school in the afternoons for the second half of the summer term last year. But when we came back in September, the person who he was doing that with wasn't available anymore, and they tried someone else who he didn't get on with, and they didn't build up the rapport the same way the first person had. So they tried to bring back the original person again, but she could now only do afternoons 3 days a week, which really isn't helpful. He's autistic, he needs routine. So yeah, we haven't really made any progress on it since, even though everyone involved knowing that it works. But finally, after much moaning and shouting and complaining from everyone involved, it looks like we might be moving towards that again. So I am semi-hopeful that that week, at the end of my Easter holidays, when it's their first week back at school, we have another one of those weird overlapping weeks again where I'm off, the kids are back. I'm hoping that rather than me driving him in all week that week like we did at half term, despite that working, it's only a short-term fix, and this is our last opportunity to do that until September, so it's not that helpful for getting him back to school this academic year. I'm hopeful that we can use that week working with whoever this person ends up being. I know we've not got a lot of time to sort it, but I am, everyone, cross your fingers. I'm hoping that we can, by the end of that week, have him travelling with somebody from the school in a taxi without me and Anna with him, because that would be absolutely brilliant. And that's where I've left it with the head teacher today. I'm waiting for him to get back to me. The speed he's currently working, it'll be the middle of next week, so don't hold your breath, but there might just be a little bit of progress being made. But I now need to go and make fajitas. They've been marinating nicely in a selection of herbs and spices. Were there any spices? I don't think they were herbs. I don't know, is cumin a herb or a spice? There's a question for you down in the comments. Is cumin a herb or a spice? I need to go and do that, and then I need to pack my bags, because we need to be secretly going away, because Rob doesn't know that he's going to his residential thing. That's why we're not saying the name of it yet, or at all. I'm not going to tell you where he's going. I'll go do that. If you've enjoyed this, please pop a like on there. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more. Thank you very much for watching. I keep forgetting to do this, so I'll do it now very quickly. A couple of days ago, I was sent a voucher for £5 off a pop vinyl at Game from a very nice man called Nicky Hyde. It's much appreciated. Thank you for sending it. I should have said thank you sooner, but thank you.